Okay, let me begin by discussing a key clinical finding in herpes zoster ophthalmicus, known as Hutchinson sign. This sign appears when the nasal tip shows lesions due to the reactivation of the varicella-zoster virus. It serves as an important marker for potential ocular complications. The reason lies in the anatomy. The nasociliary nerve, a branch of the ophthalmic division of the trigeminal nerve, supplies both the nasal tip and several ocular structures. These structures include the cornea, iris, and sclera. When the virus affects this nerve, it signals a higher likelihood of eye involvement. Healthcare providers need to recognize this sign because it often points to the need for urgent action to protect a patient's vision. Now, consider the numbers tied to Hutchinson's sign. Studies show that when nasal tip lesions are present, the risk of ocular inflammation reaches up to 85%. This percentage reflects how often conditions like keratitis, uveitis, or even retinal necrosis occur in these patients. The figure, 85%, underscores why this sign matters. It tells us that most patients with nasal tip involvement will face some form of eye complication. As healthcare providers, this statistic guides us to prioritize these cases and act quickly to assess and manage the risks to vision. Next, let's examine why the nasal tip and eye are linked in this condition. The nasociliary nerve provides the connection. This nerve branches out to innervate the skin at the nasal tip and extends to key parts of the eye, such as the cornea and sclera. When the varicella-zoster virus reactivates along this nerve, it can produce skin lesions on the nasal tip and inflammation inside the eye. This shared nerve pathway explains the relationship between what we see on the skin and what might happen to the patient's vision. Understanding this anatomy helps us anticipate ocular issues when we observe nasal tip involvement. When Hutchinson's sign appears, time becomes a critical factor. Patients with nasal tip lesions require immediate evaluation by an ophthalmologist. This step ensures that any vision-threatening complications, like keratitis or uveitis, are identified and treated without delay. Treatment often involves antiviral therapy, such as acyclovir, started early to reduce the viral impact. Corticosteroids may also be used to control inflammation. These interventions aim to limit damage to the eye and preserve vision. The presence of Hutchinson's sign acts as a clear signal for us to escalate care and involve specialists promptly. Not every case of herpes zoster ophthalmicus with ocular complications shows nasal tip lesions. Data indicate that 15% to 33% of patients without Hutchinson's sign still develop eye issues. This range, 15% to 33%, highlights an important point. The absence of nasal tip involvement does not rule out risk. Symptoms like eye pain, photophobia, or reduced vision can signal trouble even without skin lesions. For these patients, we must remain vigilant. Monitoring for these symptoms and initiating antiviral therapy when needed can still prevent or lessen complications. This broader perspective ensures we address all potential cases, not just those with the obvious sign. To wrap up, Hutchinson's sign offers a valuable clue in herpes zoster ophthalmicus. Its presence links nasal tip lesions to an 85% risk of ocular inflammation, driven by the nasociliary nerve's role in both areas. Immediate ophthalmic evaluation and treatments like acyclovir or corticosteroids form the backbone of our response. Yet, we must also remember that 15% to 33% of patients without this sign may still face eye problems. By recognizing these patterns and acting on them, we can better protect our patients' vision. This knowledge equips us as healthcare providers to respond effectively to this condition.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscription button. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below in the comments section.